So today I wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about Doomfist. The newest hero in Overwatch has been on the PTR for just a couple of days, and already we're seeing all sorts of discussion, videos, forum posts, and just talk about the new hero. And I think it's for good reason. There's a lot of excitement about this melee-focused character with high mobility and a kit that has all sorts of combo synergy between his slam, his uppercut, and his rocket punch. There's all sorts of fun and interesting things you can do while zipping around the battlefield, and also every once in a while one-shotting one of your opponents. It's really interesting because along with this, as we expect, there's a lot of talk about his strength. In particular, it seems like already people are saying he seems a little strong, he might be overpowered, and a lot of people seem to be pointing to two particular parts of his kit. So I want to discuss the strength of Doomfist here in this video and how good I think he is and what it's actually going to be like when he's finally fully released and everyone gets the chance to play him. So as I said, I think there are two things that people are focused on. First off is his very high mobility, along with the fact that his rocket punch can one-shot certain heroes. Now, it isn't exactly the same, even though I'm seeing it compared quite often. It's not exactly the same to the one-shot that we saw with Roadhog. Roadhog is a character with 600 health. He could grab you from quite a far distance with his hook, and then just one-shot you like that. And even if you didn't get one shot, well, because you were hooked, you'll be out of position and you'll probably die to any of his teammates who are also in the area helping you. Whereas with the one-shot of Doomfist, first off, it's only gonna one-shot heroes that are 250 HP and lower if he also hits you into a wall. And it also puts him in sort of a tough position, because if he's diving towards you with his rocket punch to knock you into the wall, there's a good chance that also means that he's away from his team. And he's got less health than Roadhog, so there are many things that play into the fact that these two abilities aren't quite the same. The one shot that you saw with Roadhog that saw so many complaints, eventually Blizzard decided to nerf it into the ground as it sits right now, is quite different from this one shot that's very situational, requires good positioning. It's not going to be nearly as reliable as the one shot that you saw with Roadhog. So I don't think that should be the biggest concern that people are worried about when it comes with Doomfist. Now, as to his mobility, it's certainly very good, but frankly, forget about his situational one shot, forget about the fact that he's zipping around the battlefield, jumping and diving and all sorts of stuff. The biggest strength of Doomfist is just how disruptive he's going to be. He's got his seismic slam, who pulls you towards him. He can then uppercut you, knocking you up to the air, and rocket punch you across the map, maybe into the opposing team. He's just going to be getting in the fray and busting people up, knocking them all around, and that's really, I think, where a lot of the true frustration, aside from the situational spots where you get one shot, where a lot of the true frustration around Doomfist and exclamations of him being overpowered have been coming from in just such a short amount of time. But we should keep in mind that Doomfist, although he does feel strong, and I do think he's good, he's also hard countered by a few heroes that are already in the game. So first off, we have Pharah. She is totally out of reach of pretty much everything that Doomfist can do. Doomfist's gun really loses most of its effectiveness beyond the 20 to 30 meter mark, and he can't get up high enough to do anything about Pharah. So much like Pharah is very strong against a character like Junkrat, Pharah is also going to be very strong against a character like Doomfist. Then there's also Sombra. She's got the ability to completely shut down everything he can do with hack. Now that is the same for every other hero, but at least every other hero tends to have something good in their weapon that they can deal with. Let's be real here, Doomfist weapon might be one of the worst in the game, at least when you compare it to the other offense heroes, yes, and even Sombra, because Doomfist only really has that front-loaded damage with those 4 shots. After that, it feels like you practically don't even have a weapon, so once he unloads his first 4 shots, you're waiting a second in between each subsequent shot that's only going to deal 66 damage if all 6 pellets hit the body of the enemy. So Sombra shutting down his high mobility really hurts Doomfist because he relies on that to survive. McCree also seems to be pretty good against Doomfist because he's such a big target to hit, and also the flashbang really shuts Doomfist down in his tracks when he's diving into the enemy team. Tracers have also been performing pretty well just due to their ability to dance around Doomfist with Blink. So yeah, I do agree that Doomfist is really awesome. People are really excited about him and people think he's really strong because he's a very flashy, in-your-face hero. But he's also pretty weak and relies on his combos to be tanky enough to survive for very long while he's in the middle of the enemy team. That one-shot ability isn't nearly as reliable as what you saw when Roadhog could consistently one-shot because of all the particular situation, the fact that you need to be fully charged up, and the fact that you then need to hit somebody with 250 health or lower into a wall. All of that stuff makes it much more situational and much less likely to happen than just hook and shoot like we saw with Roadhog. So is he good? I'd say yes, but far from OP from what I've seen so far. Now, these are all just initial early impressions, and truth is that we're really not going to have a clear picture of how Doomfist fits into the game and his true strength until it's released into the public. Not a lot of people even play on the PTR. Obviously, the console player base is excluded from the PTR. And from the last time Blizzard talked to us about this particular PTR engagement, they said that most people who do even hop on only end up playing 1 or 2 games. So not quite enough data to really nail down the balance and power of Doomfist. But Blizzard has already nerfed his mobility slightly to what it was when we first saw him hit the PTR, reducing the range of a fully charged rocket fist by about 10 meters, if I recall correctly. Still gotta give it more time, but right now, as it sits, how good is Doomfist? He's pretty good, but he also has a lot of counters, so I don't think we should be freaking out yet. All right, everybody, that is gonna do it for me here today. As always, I wanna thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you later.